Good rising. Yeah, I know it's late. Just figured we spend a little bit of time right now, kind of just looking at talking about some things that are going on. Shalom, family. Just got a little bit of time here before I try to hit the sack too. So, try to go to bed a little early, get some rest. But these are for the hardcore people that are still awake. Shalom, shalom. Just a chance for us to kind of bounce some ideas off of one another, spend a little time together. You know, it's just watching the Most High work. Watching the Most High work. You know, looking at this Hurricane Ian, taking a look at some of the stuff coming out on the news, showing the utter devastation that this hurricane has left in its wake. And it's not done yet. Heard now it's in the Atlantic. It's going to be another category, one hurricane before it hits landfall again. You know, it just, I mean, I was watching one clip just showing all these beach homes that, like, all the homes were just gone. Just, you know, foundations were there, but the homes were just gone. You know, and then boats were inland and houses were out in the water. Things were displaced and not where they're supposed to be. You know, and it's just amazing to see boats, you know, people, homes. It was like a 500-year storm. Pretty much what they were saying, you know. Definitely, Kiki. Definitely. Saying a prayer for your husband. He'll be okay through all this. Go north and mess some more stuff. Brother Big Levi said, he's right. You know, I said these are, you know how before, hey, Grace Senior Carlos Young, you know how it used to be before was they would always just, you know, things would always miss them. It would always like not be as bad as it could be. You know, things, you know, could have been much worse. They'd always be saying things like that, you know. Oh, we made it by the skin of our teeth. You know, it could have been much worse. Well, now it's different because everything is like magnified. You know, we've gone through our punishment. We went through our 400 years. And, you know, we had our atonement. You know, our first atonement after we've gone through our 400 years. And, well, with the Shemitah, you know, along with the Shemitah. And it's just a Great City Ancient Gardener. It's just amazing because of the times that we are in. Yes, the Most High is definitely cleaning up his earth, you know. And it's just amazing. And then looking at what's going on over there in Ukraine and Russia, and them annexing the 4 parts of Ukraine. They said those 4 parts pretty much like almost the size of Hungary, right? So they're about. I'm sure Putin's already having his speech. He's supposed to be at 8 o'clock their time. Not sure what time that is around here, but he's pretty much, you know, he's painted them into a corner. He's painted NATO into a corner, you know, saying that these lands are now part of Mother Russia, and if you attack these lands, it's like attacking Russia. Yes, you see, like Kiki, another 12 billion. You know, it was crazy as they said they were adding it up. Some guy was adding it up, and they're giving almost $80 billion to the Ukraine. 80 billion. You know, and like I said, that's just showing you how is setting up with Joel too. And the Most High said, you know, he's going to make that northern army leave our lands. You know, and that would make sense because, you know, he's sending all that money, all that military equipment over there. You know, it makes sense that that was, that's all part of it. That's all part of the prophecies. You know, them setting up all their military equipment over there, moving all that military equipment over there. Yeah, you're right, Carlos. That's just the stuff they're giving an account of publicly, exactly. You know, so like I said, it's just, I mean, they're giving away billions every week, every few days. Oh, here's another billion. I mean, it's like when you really sit there and think of it, I mean, that's 1,000, what is it, 1,000 millions, you know, it's like, it's just like it's play money. You know, it just doesn't, I mean, it's just amazing. And you know, you're starting to see people now starting to be like, hold on, what's going on here? You know, what's going on here? What, you know, I'm cracking up at a lot of these people because they're like, well, you know, it's this satanic Biden administration. It's this, you know, it's this satanic administration. You know, the country's lost its way, and it's like, man, I said, you're not getting out with the Republican, Democrat BS, because this is stuff that you guys have been pulling the whole time. Y'all was quick to give each other money, you know, this whole time, to support each other this whole time, and you know, not give any strings attached, not have to explain yourself. You just did whatever it was that you wanted to do. You know, but now that we're at the end and it's just getting to be blatantly obvious how ridiculous this is, now y'all, you know, y'all want to blame other people. You know, whatever happened to like just telling the truth? You know, these people always talking about how honest they are and whatever else, and it's like, you know, you sit here and just listening to, you know, them talk about, well, who blew up the pipelines, who blew up the pipelines, and they're just saying stuff that's just absolutely outlandish. You know, Russia did it to themselves, or, you know, we don't know. We're going to admit that there was some foul play, but we don't know who it was. And, you know, it's like, it's amazing because the Most High is just showing you how these people are. They will sit there and just lie and lie. They'll lie straight to your face. When everybody in the room knows the truth, they will still sit there and just lie to you right to your face. And what's crazy is you still got so many people that, I'm not even talking about the regular Jakes. I'm talking about people who say they're in the truth. And you're still saying you're in the truth, but you're still going to stick with the 80 books or the 66 books that were canonized by your enemy. And the Most High is showing you that your enemy here will lie to you about absolutely anything and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you've admitted that you are going to destroy this pipeline just a few months ago, you said, if Russia does this, we're going to end this pipeline. We're going to end this or whatever else. And then all of a sudden it gets destroyed. And nobody wants to, you know, admit what happened or who did this or who did that. But, you know, we can all pretty much put together what's been going on. And they'll sit there and just lie to you, to your face, about who are the ones that did it, who are the ones that are responsible. So if they're willing to lie to you about something that's just so blatantly obvious, you don't think they would lie to you about your books? You don't think they would lie to you about the books you should be reading? You don't think they would lie to you about the breakdowns of what stuff really means? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just amazing to see how the Most High is exposing these people, you know? And like I said, and you get into the Nag Hammadi, and it talks about how when you really have your eyes opened, the Most High is going to show you that this world is a corpse. This world is dead. And that's exactly what you see. You know, that's exactly what you see. You see that this world is set up on nothing but lies. There's no truth in it. You know, when the Most High has brought out his people and has enlightened them in order to bring truth. The world doesn't want it. You know, the world does not want the truth. The vast majority of the world is content with the lies, you know. But that's why, you know, it talks about that in the other story I was showing you guys, you know, about the trees and how we are in the winter. And the winter is, you know, the Gentiles' time. And in the winter right now, the Shepherd of Hermas, book 3. In the winter right now, you know, all the trees are barren. None of them have leaves. So therefore, we all look the same. You know, we all look the same right now. No one's gonna be able to tell, you know, who the Most High is dealing with and who he's not dealing with, because we're in the winter time. We're in the times of the Gentiles, you know. So you're gonna have to really be diligent and look at people and look at their fruits, right? And the vast majority of the world, you know, their fruits are lacking. Their fruits are definitely lacking. And we must be in that transitioning now. We must be transitioning from the winter to the summer, you know, because it's going to be a summer for us, but it's still going to continue to be like winter for these other nations, because when it's the summer and the Most High exposes who we really are, and you're going to see the fruits that our people, you know, have accumulated over this time here in the winter, it's going to be an absolute shock. But the ones who have, you know, put their faith in this world, they're going to be exposed for having no fruits, still being a bare tree, you know, that has absolutely no fruits whatsoever. You know, and really, this is the time for us, family, to be chasing after the Most High and doing his will, you know, to the utmost, to try our best to, you know, try to get as much fruit as we possibly can, attain as much fruit as we possibly can. You know, before, you know, we thought we had, you know, you thought you had like a lot of time. You know, I'll take it serious later. I'll start trying to get those fruits later. I got too much stuff I want to do here. But see, the Most High is showing us that no matter what we might think we know or what we think we have as far as time is concerned, this is a wrap. This is a straight wrap. I mean, none of us are promised much time. None of us are promised, you know, a lot of time. And at this point, I mean, we know that time is short. Time is short because just look at the way things are. Things are not going to continue at all as far as like any kind of normalcy. You know, there's no normalcy anymore. There's truth and there's lies, you know, and the vast majority of the world's going to continue with these lies. But if you have the truth, you know, if you have the truth, then you should be trying your best to attain, you know, those crowns you can, as many crowns as you possibly can for the Most High, doing his will, doing work for the Most High. So because, you know, hey, we could be, any of us can be called home at any time. You know, any of us can be called home at any time, especially now. You know, right before the deluge, do you remember how, like, many of our forefathers were taken home? You know, right before the deluge, I think Enoch, among other ones that we know about, I said were taken home before the destruction. And that can happen right now. You know, so like I said, that's why it's really important that we definitely go out of our way, you know, to attain as many crowns as we possibly can, do the work of the Most High, you know, just be ready to be used by the Father. Be ready at any time to be used by the Most High. You know, he doesn't bless us with all this knowledge and understanding just for us to hoard it for ourselves. Hey, great seeing you, man. Yasharel. No, again, huh? With not getting notified, right? I mean, you said, so these other nations have said, you know, they've had a long time to be able to accumulate the wealth of this world. But as you can see, this world is a wrap. I saw that too by Coolio. You know, I said, I saw Dane Calloway's video talking about how he was talking about how we're the natives, you know. And like I said, it's a beautiful thing, you know. But like I said, a lot of these guys know. A lot of these guys know a lot more than what's been let on. Now, have they been able to talk about it? I don't know. Have they been able to bring things out? I don't know. We understand that many people, you know, have to make an agreement in order to get the fame and fortune here in these lands, you know. But ultimately, you know, what they get or don't get and what they can share, what they can't share, you know, is up to the Most High. I'm glad you were able to find us here late, you know. Just sometimes you just have to kind of just come on the station and hope that you know, you can find what we got, you know what I'm saying. Hopefully we'll go live, like I said, and spend a little time with the family right now. You know, I said on that last book that I brought out, you know, I was reading a little bit of it again, and it's just amazing talking about the fetters and the humiliation and how they went all the our enemies went all around the world putting us in chains. They went all around the world humiliating us, and even to today they still go out of their way, you know, trying to humiliate us, make us seem as if we are nothing, make us seem as if we don't have a history, you know, make it seem as if, you know, all these things that are happening right now has nothing to do with us as a people. You know, they don't want to let people know that, you know, this destruction that is being, you know, unleashed on the world is because of what has happened to the Most High's chosen people, and that we have served our punishment, and now that punishment is switching. And, you know, so these churches and these pastors, you know, I mean, I don't know how you could really go to these churches at this time. They're not teaching you anything. I mean, what exactly are they teaching you? What exactly are they showing you? You know, all these horrible things that they said, you know, you weren't going to have to endure. You're here. You know, all these things that you thought that you were going to be missing out on because, you know, you're going to get raptured away. You know, I says you're still here, and as you can tell, they, you know, they're not switching up their breakdowns. They're still, oh, well, just wait a little longer, just wait a little longer. You know, I said Russia is, you know, taking lands back. You know, I said quite possibly the West has already attacked Russia, which then now opens up, you know, Russia to be able to do whatever it is they want to do, you know, as far as retaliation is concerned. You know, you're sitting here just listening to, and it's funny listening to a lot of these people because it's like they're tiptoeing around the truth. Everyone knows who's responsible. You know, I said everyone knows who's responsible. You know, now you got pretty much, you know, Europe, you know, about to freeze to death. A bunch of these people are you know, I said, are about to freeze to death. A bunch of the companies are about to shutter their doors. And, you know, gas prices out here in Cali have just shot up like in the last day or two. Like this weekend, I went to go put gas in my car, and it was like $5.50 a gallon or whatever else, because it's been kind of going down a little bit. And then I saw, we were by the freeway. You know how by the freeway gas prices are usually, you know, they're usually a little bit higher. But it was like $7.20, you know, $7.20. I was like, damn. I said within like a day or two. So then I said, you know what? Let me go to Costco or Sam's and put some gas in the vehicle before, you know, it goes up, because by my house it hadn't gotten up to $7 yet. Well, then tonight, drive over by my house and the gas station, it's $7.20. I was like, damn. So it's like everything is just jumping up like crazy. My brother Yaquad was talking to me about the Bank of England and how, they had a huge issue with the bank. I said, so, it seems as if the Most High is starting a lot of the judgment over there. Greetings, Barbara. Greetings, family. I says, it seems as if he's starting a lot of the judgment over there with them. You're right. I remember that the Vatican deadline is tomorrow about moving the money, right? I like that, Carlos. Might be cheaper for me to mail you some gas. The Costco line, yep. Like I said, it's just it's everything is getting worse day by day. Nothing is getting better. So, like I said, I think we should definitely be concentrating on attaining those crowns of the Most High. Praying that the Most High uses us. However He wants to use us while we're here. I said, get ready for the restoration. However the restoration comes. If we're restored here, great. If we're restored in the spirit world, great. I said, whatever it is the Most High wants, that's what's going to end up happening. We've run our course. I says we've been used to, at a time when we talked about what we're going to have fishers, people going out and fishing, and we know that things are about to switch to the hunters. I said, so we know that there's going to be a transition. So however the Most High, wants to restore us, I said, that's His will. His will be done. And so, we all are here to serve the Most High. Once we complete our task, complete our mission, I said, then the Most High can call us home whenever it is. Whenever it is he wants, however He wants us to. I'm so happy that the Most High has opened up my eyes to be able to see the world for what it is. It's a corpse. I said there's no. I'm sure we've seen it. Like, the more understanding you get, the less happier you are. The more understanding you get about what this world really is, the less you want to be here. The less you want to, mingle with the people that are here. The less you want to, interact with the people that are here. This is because, they're not about the truth. This is they're not about the truth. They're not about the Most High. Yes, the Matrix, like I said, they put so much truth in that movie. I watch that movie from time to time. I said, because when Neo goes back and he's just walking through, through the city, you can just see, like, you just got these mindless robots, that are just, they're just living. He says, but, there's nothing to their lives. There's nothing to them. The woman with the red dress, definitely, right? I said, so like that movie has so much truth. That first one, definitely, all of them do, but was it they were going into, they were trying to go to the promised land, which is actually inside the earth. I said they know about Zion was inside the earth. Yeah, we would hate the world. Yes, I said, the only way you're going to really hate the world is if you really get a good grasp of what the world really is. Very true. I said, it's pointless. Ellen G. Collins, there's not joy knowing every way you turn, it's against you. Yeah, and that's so true. Everyone here is against us. It says everyone here is against us. They don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to grow. They don't want to, they get upset with. I know I was having a discussion. It's like, with someone, and it was like, you start bringing out the information about the truth, and they're more upset with you bringing out the understanding about the truth, and they're not upset with the ones that have been complicit with hiding everything from them. But you get upset because we bring you the truth. Yep, everywhere you step, it's a damn booby trap. Exactly. So like really the only way we're going to be able to get any kind of peace is to be separated. However the separation is going to happen. The separation is going to happen physically right now, or the separation is going to happen if we have to transition to, to going home with the Most High, transition to the spirit world. It says that's the only way, we're going to really be able to get this understanding and get, find happiness. Because like I said, this world is not set up for us to find any type of happiness whatsoever. It's not set up for us to, to find any happiness here whatsoever. Fighting to stay asleep. You're right, Camellia. Uh-huh. Yeah, one of my youngest, he started school, and it's just, they inundate him with, the holidays, and when he was at home, he didn't really notice that much with the holidays. But now that he's in school, he hears about it all the time, and, and it's very difficult for them, And I know we all deal with that. I was talking to one of my older sons though, and like I said, and it's something. There's things that we have to kind of really think about, because like Halloween actually came from the Celts. I said so. And I said, yeah. I said Halloween actually came from the Celts. I said, so are a lot of these things that they've gotten their hands on, that they've switched up, were originally ours? Yeah. I said, and the thing is difficult because it's like, hey, how we used to celebrate these certain festivals and festivities, we don't know, because all this stuff has been hidden from us, So a lot of these things, I said, did we used to have something around the 25th of December? Quite possibly, because these other nations, they didn't come up with anything on their own. All they did was they copied what we, the certain dates that were important to us, the certain places that were important to us, and they just took them for themselves and added them up and changed things around all the time. Great seeing you here, Judah Warrior. But like I said, we're just gonna spend a little time this evening. I said we'll definitely, Most High willing, come together and spend some more time. They stole absolutely everything. Yeah, definitely. I mean, sure, we have festivals for all, all the different times of the year: spring festivals, fall festivals, winter festivals, summer. I'm sure we had all of that. It would make sense, I said so, but then they disconnected us from all of that by calling everything pagan. So therefore, even we woke up to this truth, we wouldn't want to participate in any of those festivals, because we assumed that all that stuff was all supposedly devil worship. As like I said, it just shows you how evil all of this is. Even the cross. The cross was ours. The cross was ours. The Druids had the cross. They were using the cross. And all of a sudden we turned away from it, even when we came into the truth, because that's Catholic. That's from the Catholics. That's from the Catholics and the Christians. That's not ours. But ultimately, that was ours too. Dia de los Muertos. Yeah, I said, who's to say that we didn't have some of these kinds of things where we were talking to our ancestors? I said, like I said, they have screwed everything. You right, man. So yeah, exactly. Druids celebrated the fall equinox, which I believe is December 21st. Gentiles perverted our holy days with wicked days. Probably how we ended up mixing our days with their buffoonery. Exactly. So like I said, celebrating the fall, is that a bad thing? I don't think so. I said the way they've changed everything. I said, they've screwed everything up. I said, and that's the whole thing. And they have screwed everything up, and it makes it so difficult, at times, because it's like, like I was telling one of my sons, I said, you got to understand. I said, we thought we knew the truth, but the truth is like a constantly evolving thing, because we never really realized how deep this rabbit hole goes, and you got to be willing to, like the Most High said, you got to be willing to become like a child and realize that everything you've been told is a lie, and that you're gonna have to you're gonna have to change some things you thought were the truth, or realize that, yeah, they're the truth, but there's more to the truth than what we thought before. Just like, they had a hard times with Deuteronomy 28:68, and I said, and the slave ships. I said, yeah. I said, well, did some of us come over on slave ships from Africa? I'm sure we did. I says, but what they fail to tell you is about the fact that we were already here, and we were being enslaved and moved around from place to place over here as well. I said, many of the prophecies in different parts of the Bible only fit if you look at the things being fulfilled over here. I said, so it's not as clear cut and easy as about all of us all came from Africa, which is what they would love for you to believe. So therefore, you don't have any connection with the, with the lands here. But like I said, Joel 2, they try to act like all this stuff is happening over there. Joel 2 is happening right over here. He's moving these armies off of our lands. $80 billion. You think they've really given Ukraine $80 billion? You don't think some of this is money being set up to move our military over there to fulfill Joel chapter 2? I said, and then the rejuvenation of the land over here, the rejuvenation of the people over here. I said, it fits perfectly over here, but that's all part of it. And that's why, like I said, this truth is a continuous growing process. And what's crazy is, if you look, what has Ish done to help the world? What has Ish done to, be a light to the world recently? What have they done to fulfill prophecy? The world is in utter chaos. I've never seen it like this bad. But I don't think we were ever supposed to see it this bad until now. And it's going to get nothing but worse. I said, these are the end days. These should be the days where Ish should be, pretty much on top of the hilltop, being a light to the world, and you're not hearing anything from them. And like I said, this is just the beginning. These storms, I said, these Kadosha are released. I said they're destroying the waters, with this attack on these over there, Nord Stream 1 and 2. You got all this oil and God knows what else is spilling out into the waters. I said, so that's just going to piss off the angels even more. And when the Most High takes those constraints off, so now you're going to start to see, you know, the payback. Methane gas, exactly. You know, and I'm come to the conclusion, said there's so much stuff that they don't show us. There's so much stuff that they don't show us. I mean, I knew it was a wrap when Fukushima went down. When Fukushima went down, you know, there's no way for them to clean that up and fix that. They just ignore it. You know, I said, so it's like, that was just, that there alone was just showing you, like, you know, that's just going to poison the ocean. You know, I said, that just shows you that it's been a wrap for a while. You know, he said, so like I said, and in that book, like I said, I just put the post up, you know, it talks about the ones who have been hidden, the ones that have been treated wrong, they're going to grab the attention of the world. You don't think that we're grabbing the attention of the world right now? You don't think that us as a people are grabbing the attention? I said, this truth is all over the place. You know, if you're on social media right now, you can get exposed to it all over the place. I saw brother 432 The Drop put a video out of a so-called white woman talking about, you know, the Israelites, and talking about who they really are. You know, and how many other videos are now people starting to actually admit it, talking about the 400 years are up. You know, and it's time for us to leave white Jesus and things like that. So that just shows you where we're at right now at this time. And yes, I mean, I see a lot of brothers and sisters finding so much information in just random books. And when you have the Holy Spirit, she just leads you to these books and gives you more understanding and more knowledge. And, you know, I'm going to bring out some more information. I was reading about Agartha. And, you know, all these different places, like over in Europe, how they were building these churches, and sometimes these churches would collapse from a long time ago. And they, you know, and they've come to find out that the church didn't collapse, but the roof of the buildings that were underneath the subterranean areas had collapsed, and that collapsed the church on top. So they were probably building a lot of these churches on top of entrances to get into these subterranean areas, because, you know, every time they would come into an area, you know, they would build a church on our sacred sites. You know, I said, so we know where they got the ley lines, but they also probably have some entrances to some of these subterranean areas as well. You know, I said, so they've been working so hard. I think about, you know, the pyramids down in Cholula, you know, and how they put a church on top of the biggest pyramid in the world, so that you can't go into it because it's a sacred site to the church. You know, it's a sacred site to the church, and they don't want anybody, you know, excavating. So therefore, that just keeps everyone out, you know, from the pyramids in Cholula. So like I said, just you know, they're building all these churches, as I said, on top of these subterranean entrances. They're trying to hide, you know, all this stuff that's going on underneath the earth. I said, so there's a whole lot of stuff that the Most High is going to be bringing out. Area 51, you're right. Talking about how deep that is and everything else, exactly. Yeah, we're only going to be here for a little bit, family. It was great. We have at least what they're showing us, we have 810 people. So beautiful to see everyone here. Go get some sleep, and let's see what the Most High is going to be bringing on the world tomorrow. All praise is the Most High, Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. Shalom, family.